German-style pancakes versus American-style pancakes. I have been craving pancakes lately, which initiated a conversation between Phil and I about different pancake styles. Today, we decided to make our childhood pancakes, so we head off to a nearby supermarket, gather our ingredients, and prepare for our cook-off between our childhood German-style and American-style pancakes.
Welcome to our humble kitchen. So, obviously, Deana is gonna make the US pancake version and I'm gonna make the German Pfannkuchen. And I don't know if I ever made a Pfannkuchen in my adult life. I'm not sure, maybe a long time ago.
I've made a good amount of pancakes in my life. As a kid, we always had them for Mother and Father's Day. We'd make pancakes.
Yeah, so if you judge later, have that in mind. She has a lot of advantages here.
But we have the German ingredients here, so we're at a little bit of a challenge.
Anyway, later on we're gonna of course have a little eat-off to see which pancake or Pfannkuchen is better and which one will rule them all from here on out to eternity. But now let's get started with the German one. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the German pancake. And as a small child, my grandma, who lived in our house, made pancakes for us a lot of times. So I'm gonna try to recreate those pancakes. And they're supposedly very easy to make. So all I need is kind of these 4 ingredients.
So, these are supposedly very easy to make, but I have never made these before. We only need 4 ingredients for this German Pfannkuchen. We start with 200 grams of flour into a large bowl. Then add a pinch of salt. I never know how much that is actually.
That's a lot of salt.
That's a good dash, right? That's not a lot of salt.
And then we add 2 eggs.
Life hack, hit them together, only one breaks. Boom.
Now what do you do with this one?
Bada bing, bada boom.
Then we add in 375 milliliters of milk. I'm using Vollmilch, which is the one with 3.5% fat. That's it. We don't have an electric mixer, so I am mixing by hand.
I mean, they made pancakes before they had these electric things, right? So this should work somehow.
Exactly.
Oh! Getting a stiff arm. So on the recipe it says, until slightly bubbly. So I don't know, there's definitely bubbles on the outskirts here.
Yeah, that looks bubbly.
All right, so that should be good enough. And the recipe says let it rest for half an hour. So I'm gonna just put that to the side. And in the meantime, Deana can prepare hers.
And at this point, Phil decides to pour his batter into a beer glass, which he will come to regret later on.
All right, time for the American-style pancakes, which tend to be a little fluffier. However, we're in Germany, so a lot of the ingredients that we have in the US are not here, or they're a little different. I just need this, which is a lot more than what Phil needed. So we're gonna take all the ingredients here, put it in the bowl, mix them up, and I'll tell you a little bit about them.
I am just using a basic pancake recipe that I've adjusted a bit to fit the type of ingredients that we have available here in Germany. We start off with some Weizenmehl 405, which is wheat flour. Then I add 2 cups or 250 grams of flour into a large bowl, and also add a 1/4 cup or 50 grams of sugar.
So the fun thing about Germany is there are a lot of these little satchels for baking powder, vanilla sugar, and baking soda. There it is. And the difference is this baking powder is only single acting, not double acting. In the US, we have double acting. So here in Germany, it only starts to rise when it's activated with heat, which is a fun difference that you kind of have to adjust your recipe here for.
With that, we add 1 pack of baking powder, which is about 3 teaspoons, a teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 packet of vanilla sugar. In the US, I would have used vanilla extract, but this is what I'm working with here. Oh, and of course, a pinch of salt. Just a pinch.
That's more salt than I use.
I don't think so. So I'm just gonna mix it out to make sure it's nice and not too chunky when I put my wet ingredient in.
Maybe I should have done that.
Maybe you should have.
Oh no! That's where the experience comes in.
Time to add the wet ingredients. Starting with 1 3/4 cup of milk or 420 milliliters, mixing it into the bowl.
There we go, give it some elbow grease.
There we go, there we go. You just wanna make sure it's not chunky, looks pretty smooth. So I already double boiled this butter. It's the exact amount that I need, measured it out, and it's cooled down a bit so it doesn't start cooking my dough before I want it to. So we have some butter in there, look at that.
Ooh.
And now mixing in the 1/4 cup or 60 grams of cooled down melted butter into the batter and adding the last ingredient, 1 egg, into the batter. and mix, mix, mix. At this point, I am not happy with the consistency, so I add another 1/2 cup of flour, which is also about 60 grams.
Okay, so I got it at the consistency I wanted. I kind of adjusted a little bit. We'll see how this goes, but it looks pretty good.
Time to fry up some pancakes. After overly buttering the pan, I pour on some batter, and as we all know, the first pancake is a test pancake, and test pancakes are for eating while cooking. They rarely turn out nicely, and after that first one I made some adjustments, like lowering the temperature and using way less butter.
Dang.
Ooh!
After which I was on a roll, flipping golden brown pancake after golden brown pancake. They're beautiful.
Okay, those were some nice pancakes, but time to watch a real master at work. Okay, I probably shouldn't have poured the batter into this cup because I needed one more optional ingredient.
Also should have Deana let her dough first, her batter, because I think I learned some stuff from it that I didn't do. Anyway, the recipe said to add a little bit of mineral water.
Sprudelwasser.
Just like, listen to this. Yeah, so they say like a shot, so here we go. Just gonna put a little bit. Ooh, that might have been a lot, wasn't it? You're supposed to stir it one more time, and then it's supposed to be ready to go in the pan.
Like Deana said, the first pancake is a test pancake.
Lie down again, no. All right, first flip. We'll do a normal pan flip here. I think I'm going to try the next one without the oil because this looks very oily and this is not how I remember them.
And I'm feeling more optimistic and confident with this second pancake.
All right, first one out of the way, second one looks a little better. Look at this. See if this works.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh no.
no, it didn't.
Oh no. Yeah, that's stuck.
This pan is not made for that.
Okay, maybe the second one is also a test pancake.
All right, third, let's go. There we go, much better.
Nice spread. Almost looks like a crepe. Okay, there we go. Should I try the flip one more time?
Oh God, okay.
%50 worked.
Who's cleaning this kitchen up?
I'm sorry, this turns out to be a little crappier than anticipated. I think this half part is decent, so. All right, so since I kind of messed up the first two or kind of all three of my Pfannkuchen, we're quickly making another batter. Deana stepping in, mixing it up, and we're gonna see if that turns out better.
While Deana whisks away making a new batter, we wanted to remind you to like this video and thank some of our Patreons for their support over on patreon.com/DeanaandPhil.
Ethan Mitchell, Heather Kuffner, Hessen Metro, Shar Mills, Tarek Malkosh, Stephanie Ann, Megan Rosati, Klaus Eisart, Lee Lim, Robert J. Casper, Marian Demat, Sherry and Keith Dennis, Jessica Saranska, and Jeff Standen. Thank you!
Deana is taking over and we are trying to recreate this variation of this Pfannkuchen that I had as a child with apples.
Second batch of batter. Good idea.
There we go.
Big one
Tortilla
is
de patatas.
so hard to flip.
Nice flip to keep those apples in there.
I also think it should not be this hard to make German pancakes. Like, you barely need a recipe, but holy cow.
And she makes one of the last Pfannkuchen as well.
All right, so this is my product, how it came out of the pan. Yeah, it took a couple of tries. I hope we get the flavor right. These turned out very thin, almost like a crepe from France. They're usually like a little bit thicker than that, but they're supposed to be thin. This is a plain one, the last one we made from the second batch. And here we have the one with the apples in it. And super common, how we ate it, how we grew up, always with applesauce. It's called Apfelmus in German, and you just take a good amount and just spread it around over the entire pancake. German pancake, aka Pfannkuchen.
We have my pancakes here, and with my family we often did blueberry pancakes. We would cook them inside, but for today we just are gonna sprinkle them on top with maple syrup.
Because you're from Canada.
Because Canada is in North America. We're all American, right? In German it's Ahornsirup. It's really hard to find, pretty expensive. We end up going to DM to get this one in an Edeka, but let's pour it on.
Now there's nothing quite like beautiful slow motion B-roll to stimulate the appetite. If only those blueberries would stay on. But look at that syrup drip. Mmm, yummy.
Okay, so it is time for the taste test. We have the German one here, very flat, very much applesauce on top of it. And the American one just looks like a piece of art in comparison.
Very fluffish.
Yeah,
fluffy.
I have to admit that. So I'm just gonna go each for our own, I guess.
Give this a try. Plenty of maple syrup.
I love how this is like always this thick and then you can just like fold it a couple times, shove it in your mouth.
Cheers.
Man, they look... We struggled. I struggled a lot, but damn, they taste good. It's just such a nice transport vehicle for this applesauce.
This made a lot more than I thought. So that whole recipe yielded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pancakes and a test pancake that didn't make this. So that was a lot of pancakes in that recipe.
I'm actually gonna try one of these with the apples in there. But how's yours? How did it turn out?
I love it. I love blueberries with pancakes, but I often do bananas or strawberries in there too. I just didn't want to make it too complicated with this recipe that we were doing. But oh, with maple syrup, look at that drip.
Yeah, the maple syrup, blueberries. That's a little bit of a cheat code. But also this one, it's normally not looking like this. The apples are a little bit more in there usually. Yeah, I mean, both pretty good. Like, I like the plain one. The apple one with the thin slices, also pretty good. Time to try the inferior one, the American one.
I'll try this German one. Well, we've had German Pfannkuchen a lot before, like German pancakes.
Really?
Yeah. At restaurants, there's been sweet or savory ones. Even your family has made them a few times. Phil just doesn't normally make pancakes.
This is so sweet in comparison. It tastes like cake.
Well, there's cake in the name. Pancake.
Pancake.
But the American one is way sweeter. You could just see from the recipe, there's sugar in this batch and there's not sugar in this one. The only sweetness from this is the butter that you fry it with and the apple mousse. Like, that's really the only sweet element.
Yeah, dude, I'm really surprised by how big the difference is. You can taste that there's so many more ingredients, right? It's
Yeah.
so much sweeter. I don't know what I like more. To be honest, this feels more of a hearty meal now, especially compared to that. And this one feels more like a dessert.
Yeah, it's a dessert. To me, pancakes are a dessert, even though they're heavily associated with American breakfasts.
What if I just take one, a little boat here, put some blueberries in there with some maple syrup?
This is why we can't have nice things.
It's like a little roll.
Yes, you made a pancake roll. Make it taste better?
Blueberries just very nice with that sweetness, but how do you like the German one?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think I prefer the savory versions of the German ones a lot more. Like Speck und Zwiebel, bacon and onions. I really like that version of the German pancakes a lot more.
So while cooking this, I expected to like the American one way better. I think they're too different. I think it's a tie. And on that note, which country are you from? And did you have pancakes as a kid or even still as an adult?
And what did they look like from your country?
Yeah, and which one would you prefer? The German style or the American style? Let us know in the comments below.
All right, I have a lot of pancakes to eat, so I'll see you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whole section for applesauce.
All the apple mousse. What are you getting? What are you getting?